So that's roll call. Before we approve the agenda, we need to make a couple of changes. The first one is under executive session. It's going to be a little different, sorry. It's going to be discussion regarding the appointment and evaluation of personnel and next steps in the selection process for a CTES principal position, rather than the way that it was posted. Could I have a motion to change that, please?
So made.
Do you have a second?
Can you explain what this distinction is?
The distinction is we will not be hiring a principal in executive session. We will not be doing interviews and hiring someone tonight. We're going to have a discussion about how we're going to move forward. Motion's been made by Adrian, second by Rick.
Yep.
That we change the executive session to be discussion regarding appointment and evaluation of personnel and next steps in the selection process for CTES principal position. Is there any discussion? Steve, I can't see you, so you're going to have to like speak up if you want to say something. Everybody else I can kind of see.
Yeah, I'm facing the many people who showed up rather than have my back to them.
Yeah, that's fine. I just so that you know, just say something when you want, because I won't be until you say something. I don't see you. Is now I see you. So just like wave or yell and just because I don't want you to be excluded.
Right.
Okay. Hearing no discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. All right.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carries and we have changed that. The other thing that I would like to add before we approve the agenda is a section on unfinished business before public comments to take care of some procedural stuff on resignations. Do I have a motion?
This is Jeff. I'd like to make a motion to add unfinished business to the agenda before the public comments for the purpose of accepting resignations.
Is there a second?
So made.
Motion's been made by Jeff, seconded by Rick, that we add a public, a unfinished business before public comments to deal with resignations. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? I don't see, so the motion passes. Okay, so now I will entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda as changed. Normally, I just approve it for us, but I think it's better this way. So Rick has made the motion. Do I have a second?
Sorry, point of order. Point of order, please.
Yes.
I think this was not properly warned at all. The idea of discussing the resignation should have been warned with the people whose resignations we are discussing, and there could have been some preparation so that some arguments might be made pro and con to either move forward or not move forward with acceptance of those resignations.
Any item can be added to an agenda with the approval of the board, which we just had. So basically, I can accept the agenda as we have changed it, but I'm asking for a motion just to make it clear. But once those items were approved, then they become items on the agenda. So I believe, Rick, did you make the motion to approve the agenda as changed?
Yes.
Seconded by?
Yeah, this is unwarranted and unactionable. Please.
The motion's been made by Rick, seconded by Scott, that the agenda is approved as changed. Now, is there any discussion? That's where you would speak, Steve.
Okay, it's unwarranted and it's unwarned, and I think that we need to have a reasonable process where people who have resigned, who may have resigned in the heat of a moment, who are elected officials, have an opportunity to discuss their point of view.
Is there any other discussion? The motion has been made by Rick, seconded by Scott, that we approve the agenda as changed. All those in favor will say aye.
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 Sorry to jump in. I couldn't get off mute. Yeah. So I mean, it is 8 o'clock, 8:05. We've had a lot of there's obviously a lot of tension. I agree with Steve. I feel like we should give a moment for the folks that did resign to speak their side. I just want to make it clear that I'm on Steve's side on this one.
Okay, so I'm hearing that because we're got different asides, I'm gonna do a roll call on this. Like I said, I could just approve the agenda as we changed it because you all just voted to change these items. But we'll do it this way. So all those in favor, Rick Alexander,
Yes.
Jeff Hans,
Yes.
Scott Kendall,
Yes.
Steve Perini,
It's Pirani, okay?
Sorry, Pirani. I didn't
No.
hear your answer, sorry.
No, no.
Lois,
No.
Josh,
Nope.
Adrian,
yes,
4-3, the motion passes the approval of the agenda as changed. So the first item is unfinished business, and that is to deal with the
Yeah, point of order.
resignations that we have.
Who can vote on this? Who can vote on this? Are you saying that it's only board members who can vote on this now and not the resigned board members who have any participation at all?
Correct. They have
They
resigned.
have no warning, they have no nothing.
They have resigned. Do I have a motion?
I'm sorry, a motion,
A motion to deal with with any of the resignations or all of the resignations?
They didn't actually resign.
Do I have, a
Two of them didn't. So
I make a motion that we deal with the resignation letters and the resignation verbally, or however you gotta word it.
well, I need you to word it as,
Okay, I make a motion that we deal with the four people that have, three board members that have resigned.
do you want to do them as one or one at a time or collectively?
You can, we can do them one at a time.
Okay, then I will entertain a motion one by one.
they haven't fully resigned yet. They are not officially resigned. They are still members.
I will entertain a motion one by one.
Give you a second.
we did receive letters too.
Yep.
So can I get a motion that states clearly what you want to say?
I will make the motion to accept Dennis Riley's resignation from the school board.
I need a second.
I will second.
Alexander. Yep.
Motion's been made by Jeff, seconded by Scott, that we accept Dennis Riley's resignation from the board. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
No,
We need to take a roll call again. Rick Alexander,
Yes.
Jeff Hans,
Yes.
Scott Kendall,
Yes.
Steve Perani,
no,
Lois Perla,
No.
Josh Schroeder,
The account that I haven't had a chance to read the letter, because I didn't think we were discussing this tonight. No.
Adrian.
Yes,
That is 4-3. The motion passes and we have accepted the resignation of Dennis Riley. Do I have another motion?
Like to make a motion to vote on or accept Katie Murphy's resignation.
The motion's been made to accept Katie Murphy's resignation. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made by Scott Kendall, seconded by Rick Alexander to accept Katie Murphy's resignation. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? I'm just gonna do it.
Man, son of a gun.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that this had I known, I would have come to the meeting so I could be so fast on the click of the mouse on the unmute. So I'm just gonna remain unmuted and try and just be quiet. So if there is background noise, I apologize to anyone. It's probably just a cat. Bottom line is, the discussion here is I haven't had a chance to read any letters based on resignation. Is anybody else? I mean,
no.
anybody else on the board? I just can't see how we can logically
It
continue
was all
with.
sent out. It was sent out.
To who?
Okay, awesome. That is wicked cool that they're all sent out.
I
However,
didn't send it out. Dennis sent it out.
I haven't read Dennis's yet. I haven't seen Katie's nor
The
read
fact
that one.
remains that they walked out of the last meeting and resigned in public. So that should be enough right there.
Well, I mean, maybe that's enough for you. Again, I really hate to
Actions
make
have consequences.
hasty. I think it's my turn to talk. I hate to make hasty decisions. I like to have all the facts. So if I can read reasoning behind it, I feel like I can be better prepared to make a vote. That's just how I vote. And I just want to let everybody that can hear me know that.
Okay, well, since we are on Katie Murphy's, I will read it to you. I need to submit my resignation. I could not control my internet connection and feel that I need to resign from the board. I apologize, but Chieftain is a direct violation of law and policy because it is indirectly referencing a race, creed, color, national organ, sexual orientation, or gender identity of a person or group of persons, or any person, group, or persons or organization associated repression of others. Catherine Murphy. That is her letter. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Rick Alexander,
Aye. Yes.
Jeff Hans,
Yes.
Scott Kendall,
Yes.
Barani,
No,
Lois Perla,
No.
Josh Schroeder,
Oh, Katie, come back.
Ian Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-3.
point of order, Deb. They're in the meeting. Kate Lamphere is in the meeting, and
Well,
she,
Kate's is the next one, so.
you've admitted her to the meeting. She has not resigned. As far as I can tell, she's on the board currently. She
She
should be.
walked out of the last meeting and resigned publicly.
But if you haven't accepted a resignation, it's not official.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If you have to act on it at this meeting, then it isn't accepted yet. She's still a member.
I was doing this just to clean things up. I didn't have to because once the record comes out and
You
it's
didn't have
written
to, Deb.
record,
You
which
did.
has already been given to board members,
Oh, Deb.
Let Kate vote.
we can go through every vote again and Kate can vote and it'll still be a no and a no because it will be 4-4. Do you
Let's
want to go through? All right, well,
Absolutely.
I will ask the board members that are present what they would like to do about Kate. I have not heard from Kate. The last I heard from Kate, she walked out of a meeting and said that she resigned. I have not heard anything else from Kate to let me know otherwise.
I sent you an email on May
I got
20th
no
at
such
6:10
email.
a.m.
I got no such email.
Okay, well, I sent the email.
You can ask Sean Cunningham. He has access to my mail. I have no email.
Then read the
have nothing.
email. Just read the email. Read it.
You are considering a revote, considering Katie did not cast her vote as intended. I very much want to be a part of this board and would rescind my resignation to continue working. I cannot be on a board that I believe is in violation of this law as it holds too much professional risk for me. But given the situation on Thursday night, I think a revote is in order. I was still on the meeting when Katie indicated she voted incorrectly. I wish I could have gotten my thoughts together to have suggested this in the moment, but it was a whirlwind. I did not send a letter of resignation. I sent a letter that I guess Deb didn't get saying I would like to talk more about this because the vote bungled on Thursday. I didn't know that until after I already resigned. Had I known that the will of the board was not to violate the law, I would not have resigned.
Kate, have you watched the videotape of the meeting?
No.
If you watch the tape of the meeting, at least 4 times, I explained what the motion was, and I stated very clearly what a yes vote meant and what a no vote meant. And I even asked Katie, do you understand, before I began the roll call? And her response was yes, yes. She said it twice. And then I took the roll call. So I will not entertain that she did not know what she was voting for. I asked her very specifically if she understood, and she said yes.
And I trust her words at the end of the
You
meeting when
said-
she said
and
she
you
was
said you didn't understand, and yet you voted no. So does that mean you want to now vote yes?
it was because my internet connection wasn't messed up, so I heard all the clarification. I don't want to argue Katie. I'm just saying that had I known that she voted incorrectly, I would not have resigned. I would have stayed to continue the work because I would have understood that the will of the board was what it was.
So I don't
We
want to
are
raise
not
my
going to
hand
have
on
a
Zoom.
revote. So we're actually getting off topic. What the topic is whether or not Kate wants to resign. We are not going to be taking a revote. So Kate, if you don't want to resign, then you can rescind and the board can go on.
And let her vote for everything.
Yeah, then
We
she
need to
should
hear from
vote.
Kate what she would like to do. Thank you.
Dennis.
Okay. Look,
I would like to withdraw my resignation.
Fine. Okay, so now we need to revote on the other ones and we'll do it by a roll call. So the first is on the resignation of Dennis Riley, Rick Alexander.
No, you have to start the meeting again.
we have to start the meeting again.
Yeah, actually, like way from the beginning.
Yeah, I'd like to move to adjourn. We're totally unprepared
Yeah,
for this.
this is a mess.
Totally
That
unclear.
is your opinion.
With
We're
regard
not going to adjourn. We are going to continue. If you would like me to.
Second that. The second that. This is,
I would like.
Embarrassing.
Seconded.
yeah, this is a joke, dude.
No, it is not a joke. And if you would stop talking, I will start the meeting over if you would like.
No, I move to adjourn.
So we are calling it to order again.
I second that motion.
8:17.
Order.
We have taken roll call. Kate has now withdrawn her resignation. So we will add her to the list. The first item on the agenda after the
Don't we
roll
have a
call,
motion on the table?
approval of the agenda.
Dude,
I am not entertaining a motion. I am starting the meeting over as I was asked. So the first item is to change the executive session from
Right.
discussion of appointment and evaluation of personnel interview with finalists for CTES principal position to a discussion regarding appointment and evaluation of personnel and next steps in the selection process for a CTES principal position. Do I have a motion?
So made.
Was that Scott?
Rick.
Sorry, Rick. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Thank you, Adrian. The motion has been made by Rick, seconded by Adrian, that we change the executive session to discussion regarding appointment and evaluation of personnel and next steps in the selection process for the CTES principal. Is there any discussion?
A point of order. I think the
No,
motion.
there is a motion on the floor and I'm asking for discussion. Would you like to make discussion?
Take
On
precedence.
the motion at hand, would you like to make discussion on the motion at hand?
Yes, Katie Murphy is in the waiting
You
room.
are
trying to
out
get
of
letters
line,
to me.
sir. You are out of line, sir. Is there? anyone on the
Katie
floor?
is.
Out of line, Deb. There was a motion on the table
There is
and
a
it was
motion.
seconded.
Excuse me. No, I have not entertained another motion. This is the motion that is on the floor. It has been seconded and I'm asking for discussion on this motion. Is there
Let
any,
Katie in the meeting.
You recognize me, Deb?
is there any further discussion on the motion that was made to change executive session to discussion regarding appointment and evaluation of personnel?
Yes, I make a motion to change it.
There is already a motion on the floor to change it, and it has been seconded. I'm asking for discussion.
Right.
Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right.
Is anyone opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed?
You're opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, so we'll take a roll call. This is on
Opposed.
the discussion regarding appointment and evaluation of personnel. It's changing the executive session to read discussion regarding of appointment and evaluation of personnel and next steps in the selection process for a CTES principal. Rick,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Steve. Steve,
Steve.
Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. What are we voting on?
you're
I'm sorry.
voting on whether or not you want to change the executive session.
No.
Lois.
I'm confused.
Okay, Lois, how can I help you?
Yes.
We came here tonight to may have that executive session, and we've been talking about everything else but.
We
Are we
need to.
going to have that meeting or not?
We cannot do the meeting as it's warned. We have to change this because what it says is that we're going to interview finalists.
Right. I accept the change.
Okay, yes, Josh. Josh,
No. Opposed.
okay.
Opposed.
Adrian. Adrian, on the executive session.
Yes.
Kate,
No.
so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yeses and 3 nos. So the motion carries. We have changed executive session to be a discussion regarding the appointment and evaluation of personnel and next steps in the selection process for a CTES position, principal position. The next item is the unfinished business to handle letters of resignation. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chairwoman, I make a motion to adjourn. This is unfair to everyone. We have a Zoom puzzle going on. Nobody can hear anybody. The agenda is unclear. The background is unclear. This
The
is not
agenda
fair.
is being cleared up.
This is
But you
not-
have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
I don't have to entertain a motion to adjourn. I'm not going to entertain a motion to adjourn. We came here for a reason. We're going to
It
continue.
was seconded.
Motion to adjourn.
It was seconded. I heard it.
I seconded it.
It was seconded.
Motion has been made by Steve, seconded by Kate to adjourn. I'm going to do a roll call.
Let everyone vote.
Want to adjourn. Everyone has voted. Please stay out of the discussion. I'm going to do a roll call. If you believe we should adjourn, you will say yes. If you don't believe we should adjourn, you will say no. Rick,
No.
Jeff,
No.
Scott,
No.
Steve,
Yes.
Lois,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Adrian,
No.
Kate.
Yes.
That's 4 to 4. I will break the tie with a no.
What?
We are-
I vote,
Is-
I vote
Katie
to
gets to
adjourn.
The motion.
Katie gets to vote.
Vote to
Why
adjourn.
Katie's here.
Katie
Katie gets to
resigned
vote.
her position. She
She
resigned. her
didn't
position.
resign
You have
yet.
not accepted the resignation.
I have a letter of resignation. She has resigned. I
You
checked it
didn't accept it.
in the law and I accepted her letter of resignation.
This is a joke.
I need everyone to please calm down so that we can get through this.
Feeling a little ambushed.
Railroading.
Let Katie vote.
Katie is not a member of the board. Katie resigned her position on the night of the 18th.
She
She
has
is
not-
a board. You voted to
Sent
start.
a written letter of resignation and I accepted her written letter of resignation.
The board did not vote.
Yeah. Cavendish is.
Is there a motion to go to unfinished business? Or do you want to move on?
Make another motion to adjourn.
Not entertained. Motion has been made and failed. I do not have to entertain it again. Do we have a motion to either tackle unfinished business or move on?
I'll make a motion to add unfinished business as an agenda item before public comments for the purpose of accepting resignations.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
So made.
Motion's been made by Jeff Hans, seconded by Rick Alexander to have unfinished business before public comments to tackle the 2 written resignations. Is there any discussion? I'm going to do a roll call vote. Rick Alexander,
Yes.
Jeff Hans,
Yes.
Scott Kendall,
Yes.
Steve Barani,
No.
Lois Perla,
No.
Josh Schroeder, Kate Williams. I'm sorry, Adrian Williams. You're on mute.
I just asked for, what was, one more time?
The motion was to put unfinished business on the agenda before public comments to deal with the 2 written resignations. Can you say that again? You went back on mute.
All right, sorry, yes.
Kate Lampier,
No.
That's 4 yeses and 4 nos. I will break the tie with a yes. The motion carries. So now the agenda has been approved with corrections and we can move on. The first order of business is unfinished business.
I'd like to appeal the decision.
I need a motion to accept the resignation of Dennis Riley.
I make a motion to accept the resignation of Dennis Riley.
Do I have a second?
Rick.
Scott has made the motion. Rick has seconded it to accept the resignation of Dennis Riley from the board. Is there any discussion? I'm just going to do a roll call. Rick Alexander,
Yes.
Jeff Hans,
Yes.
Scott Kendall,
Yes.
Steve Barani,
No.
Lois Perla,
No,
Josh Schroeder,
Dennis, if I could change your mind, I would. You were a valiant board member. It was awesome working alongside you. I want everybody in that room to know. So, no, I can't accept it, and I still haven't read it.
Adrian Williams,
Yes.
Kate Lampier.
No.
It's 4 yeses, 4 nos. I will say yes, break the tie. The motion carries and Dennis's resignation has been accepted. I'll entertain a motion to accept Katie Murphy's written resignation.
I make a motion to accept Katie Murphy's withdrawal of her resignation
Right now, I
and
need
reinstate her to the board.
the first thing I received was her written resignation. So I need a motion to accept or deny her written resignation. I will.
I make a motion to deny her.
Excuse me, Rick has made the motion to accept her written resignation. Is there a second?
I was mid-motion.
Scott made the second. Rick has made the motion. Scott has seconded to accept Katie's written resignation. Is there discussion?
Katie should be able to
There
vote.
was already a second on the other motion.
Let
Did
Katie
you not
vote.
hear me
I'm going to
talking?
take a roll call vote on the motion on the floor, which was made by Rick Alexander to accept Katie Murphy's written resignation, seconded by Scott Kendall. Rick
Hey,
Alexander.
Deb, you did.
Excuse
give
me,
us-
I'm taking a roll call vote. No one. Rick
This is
Wait,
called a
but you gave
dictatorship.
us an
This
option
is
for
not
discussion.
okay.
Alexander.
This is not okay.
Rick
Hey, Deb,
Alexander.
there was an option for
What do you
discussion,
think you're
right?
doing?
Rick Alexander.
Yes.
Wait, what happened to the discussion
Jeff
part of it? You're like,
Jeff
Deb, you
Hans.
said discussion. Remember,
Yes.
I'm on Zoom and I know it's shaky over here, but I guarantee you there's
Kendall.
like 50 other
Yes.
people that are like, hey, let's discuss.
Steve Perani.
Voting on?
We're voting on accepting or not, on accepting Katie's written resignation.
Of course we don't accept it.
Lois Perla,
no,
Josh Schroeder.
Is Katie on?
Josh Schroeder, yes or no, please?
I'm gonna go with a no, because I don't
Yes,
want to let her go.
Josh, I am here, Josh.
Adrian Williams.
Thank you, Katie.
She's
Hey, Katie.
there.
Adrian Williams,
Yes.
Kate Lampier.
No.
That is 4 yeses, 4 nos. I break the tie and we will accept Katie's written resignation to resign. I have been in
This is
touch.
ugly. This is ugly.
how-
Ugly.
Katie needs to vote.
On.
Next is public
Disgusting.
She's in the room. She needs to vote. You can't ignore that
Katie
she's in the
gets a
room.
right.
She's still on the board.
Yeah, we just did the same
You
thing.
let her vote.
Please,
You need to let her vote. She's
Lauren,
in the room.
please.
Just like you let Kate Lampier vote because it hadn't been accepted yet. You need to let Katie vote.
Absolutely.
Truth. That is truth.
Everybody is watching. Do
Absolutely.
it right.
This
you
is
guys have a
being
lawyer?
filmed.
Just take
This is
over.
being
Like,
filmed.
Dictatorship, woman. It's ridiculous. Don't you have a lawyer?
This is so in
Live on the
violation
air
of
right
Robert's-
now. Live
You-
on the air.
They literally started the meeting over to re-vote on the resignations, which means that Katie Murphy is still a board member. I tried to vote before.
I think
I-
if I
oh.
understand how this was happening, the first vote was going to be to accept, and then it sounded like there was going to be a vote to entertain her rescinding. But nobody is willing to let anybody finish a complete sentence. So I think that maybe we should just maybe be quiet and let this go through. The next motion was made, and I believe that's going to be heard.
I didn't hear another motion. There was too much commotion.
I made a motion to accept. No, I made a motion to deny. I don't know how to make the motion, to deny the resignation of Katie Murphy, or to accept a withdrawal of the resignation of Katie Murphy.
Which was seconded.
Katie, would you like to no, because it's already been voted that we accepted her resignation.
Except for that, the.
Excuse me,
Without her vote.
please.
The
Can I
So
speak?
can everybody stop? Deb, I was trying to make that motion when everybody was talking. And I think if you go back and look at the recording, my motion was first. I made the motion first before the motion came on the floor to
Sorry, I
deny.
hear that. The
I
motion's
know.
already been made and it's already been seconded and it's already been approved that Katie has resigned.
So it would be nice if we could consider allowing Katie to withdraw her resignation and come back on the board. So I'd like to make a motion to allow Katie to withdraw her resignation and come back on the board.
Even though that is not the proper procedure, I will entertain that motion. Is there a second?
Second, I just don't understand the not proper procedure because.
Because
I felt like-
according to Robert's Rules of Order, once a board has accepted a resignation, there is a different procedure to get back on the board, which is to, can I finish? Josh, you asked.
I'm raising my hand. I'm not speaking. I was just
Okay.
raising my hand. I don't know how to do it on the button.
There is a procedure to get back on the board, which is to write a letter of interest to the board to fill the vacancy. I have said that I will entertain Kate's motion to let Katie rescind now, even though we have accepted her resignation. Do you understand?
That part is clear as crystal. What I don't understand is that I feel like, and I think again, there's other folks that may have heard, Kate's motion was made and seconded prior to you.
I never
taking
heard
over.
that, and I'm sorry that that is just part of this. And
So
everybody talking at once and people that aren't board members chiming in when they shouldn't be. So now, like I said, I have accepted I will entertain Kate's motion, which should make everybody happy. Okay?
No, I will. My hand's still up. Try not to interrupt.
I believe Rick did second it, didn't you, Rick? Yes. Okay, so Kate made the motion to rescind Kate's resignation and Rick seconded that.
So real
So
quick.
now we are on discussion, Josh, if you would like to make a comment.
Well, okay, so I tried to make the comment during the first discussion after Kate made the original motion. And when you called for discussion, I clearly raised my hand and went like this, and I did a bunch of hands. Again, if somebody could just tell me how to click the little button, which one does the little yellow hand, the really cute one in the corner, that'd be cool. I know there's a button in here. But anyway, bottom line is, while we had the chance to discuss that, you got rid of that opportunity, Deb, and you went straight to somebody else's motion when there was still the original motion.
The motion on the floor, Josh. The motion on the floor.
I'm still talking on the original motion on the floor. Yeah.
The motion on the floor is to accept Katie's letter to rescind her resignation. Would you like to talk on that motion?
I have a question then, yes, to discuss on that motion. Thanks again. All right, so since I think what I was trying to clarify was Kate's original motion would have allowed Katie to vote. However, it seems though that because Kate's now motion has been shoved aside and this new motion came up and this vote came and there was a big tie and you broke the tie, you've been really good at that lately. Then we're coming back around now. So now we're thinking about accepting Kate Lanfear's motion, which was the original motion before the other motion. And now Katie doesn't have a vote. So Robert's rules to me, and I have Robert's rules for dummies. Again, another really awesome gift by Dennis Riley. Thank you, sir. And I could go get that and hold it up like you did. And I could say, hey, listen, I think if there's a motion already on the table and it's already been seconded, then we actually have to vote on that one first.
The chairman did not entertain that motion because the chairman did not hear that motion, because if I had, then we would have entertained it. But because so many people were all talking at once, I only heard Rick's motion. So we're moving on Kate has made the motion to rescind Katie's resignation. Is there any other discussion? Josh, you've had your 2 minutes. Is there any other discussion on the motion?
I would,
Yes, Kate.
thanks. I guess I just would like to, I would love to be able to hear from Katie if she wants to come back on the board. And I think if we can all recognize that on Thursday, it ended in a way that was confusing for everybody, and to allow Katie to rescind her resignation and continue her term on the board is the right thing to do. After making that mistake on Thursday, I imagine how difficult it must have been. And so resigning it probably felt like resigning was the only option. And I just would love for Katie to have the opportunity to come back on the board, having thought through that decision, given the intensity of it coming down. Not very good with my words tonight, but.
Is there any other discussion? Adrian, you had your hand up.
Yes, I wanted to ask that Katie Murphy please turn on her, her camera so that she can speak. And I do have some questions if she, she hasn't, I haven't heard from her, so I'd like to ask her a few questions.
She's waiting, I believe.
I can't see, is she on camera?
Yes, she is.
Okay, Katie, I have absolutely no issue with you, and I hope that that is abundantly clear. For me, before we take this vote, I just want to know that moving forward, that there's, you're going to be able to, speak for clarity and be able to withstand some of the I mean, clearly we're in a very uncomfortable, divided situation. And I want to know that, by coming back onto the board that, you're going to be there for the board. You're going to be there regardless of which way you vote, but you're going to, stay the course. I really feel uncomfortable with the people, that this back and forth is very unsettling and unnerving. And I just want to hear from you in that regard.
Sorry, I want to be back on the board. I don't want to resign. I want to stay and fight for my community and my taxpayers and my children and the rest of the children in the community. I need to be an active member of the board.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion? I don't see anyone on any other discussion. So the motion's been made by Kate, seconded by Rick, to accept Katie's rescinding on her resignation. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Me.
Okay, I'll take a roll call. Rick Alexander,
Yes.
Jeff Hance,
Yes.
Scott Kendall,
No.
Steve Perani. Steve? Josh, Lois Perla?
Deb, it looks like Cavendish is muted. The main room is muted.
Oh,
So Steve, you can't hear Steve.
Lauren, can you unmute the room for Jeff, for Steve to vote?
How did the room get muted?
Because everybody was talking all at once, so I asked Lauren to mute everybody.
Oh, okay.
Steve?
Yes.
Thank you.
us now?
Yes, Lois?
Sorry about that.
Lois? Is Lois still on?
I saw her iPad leave a little while ago and was worried about that.
Lois?
Everyone is. I'm now on my phone. My iPad ran out of juice. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Josh?
Welcome back, Katie. Yes.
Adrian?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yeses to 1 no. Kate, welcome back. Katie, sorry.
Thank
All right.
you.
So the next order of business is public comments. If you would like to make a public comment, raise your hand. If you'd like to make a comment in the Cavendish Town Elementary Room,
Point
I'm
of
going
order.
to ask
Point of order.
Lauren to
Point of order,
ask
please.
people to stand and so that we can see who they are and they can identify themselves, because Amber's online and she can't see everybody. So I don't see any hands on Zoom.
We've got people in the room though,
Okay,
including.
and that's what I need your help for, Lauren.
So Steve has his hand up.
Okay,
I'd like to make a motion to.
we're not doing motions. We're in public comment right now. So if you'd like to make if you'd like to speak as a member of the public, you're welcome to do that.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. This is.
That motion has been made and it's been denied, and we are now in public comment. I'm going to move on. Is there someone else in the room that would like to speak, Lauren?
Amy Hamlet has her hand up.
Okay. Oh, online. Yep. Sorry. Okay. Amy, go ahead.
Yes, hi. My name is Amy Hamblett. I am a teacher at Chester Andover. Like many of my colleagues, I was completely disheartened at the meeting on Thursday night, and I want the board to understand the impact of your actions on the I don't know what the word is, on teachers and what teachers are trying to do with students. Your actions on Thursday night leave us completely leaderless. We anticipate a very near future when we will have a void of leadership. And I cannot overestimate how difficult this is for us. And you need to know it.
Thank you. Craig?
Thank you, Deb. I want to encourage us to find some way forward that is conciliatory, that respects all points of view. I don't want us to be any longer in a place of winners and losers. And I really hope we can find some way, and I'm speaking just as a citizen of Vermont, because I don't even live in the Two Rivers towns. I'm just saying, as a person who lives in our great state, can we please find a way forward? Because both sides have valid points of view. We have to recognize our history, our traditions. We have to recognize our memories, and we have to find a way to do that in a way that's respectful to all people, I believe. And I'm sorry I was out of order, and I commend your work tonight.
Thank you, and I appreciate your words, and from your lips to God's ears. Otis? And I'm sorry, I can't see what order everybody's coming in. I'm just seeing hands as they come up.
Deb, there's
Can you hear me?
I called on Otis right now, and then I'll come back to the room just a sec.
Thank
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sorry. I agree 100% with how Craig just worded the comments. I think there is a path forward for everybody here. I think we should all take a step back and realize that everyone has their own opinions on every topic, not just one topic. But I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate everybody's coming forth on this whole deal. It's kind of baffling to me about how it all went down. I still think that it's not, everybody knows how I feel. I don't need to repeat that. But anyway, so I just wanted to say thank you. And I agree with Craig on that subject.
Thank you. I'll go back to the Cavendish Town room, and then I'll come back online.
Who do we have? Amanda? State your name and.
Yes, I'm Amanda Terrell. Also happen to be the lone Cavendish principal candidate left. So I was asked to be here for that purpose. I realized that plans changed. However, I also know it seems like there's a lot of people both here and also in Zoom, and I want to acknowledge that. I don't know how many people are on Zoom. I don't have a computer. Do you have a number?
81.
That's unfounded, right? And that probably is most of the town of Cavendish, right? Like, we are a small town, we are small but mighty. I am from here. And I guess I just wanted to say that, like, no matter what happens in this, I will always support Cavendish Town Elementary School. I will always be an advocate. This is my home. I agree with Craig. I believe that, you know, I had something else to say, but right now, this is about respect. This is about children. And I just really, I'm begging people on the board to please keep this about children. Please be respectful. Please be good role models for our children. Because right now I stand before you as a grades 5-6 teacher. And I would want them to see something different. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I applaud you. That's wonderful. Angela Cartier.
Hi, everyone. I'm new to this crew. I live in Proctorsville, and my daughter is about to begin kindergarten in Cavendish. I also work in a school not too far away. And just to what the woman was saying right before me, I'm really concerned. I see little faces on this screen, and I would never want my daughter to see this. And I'm just concerned, and I really hope that the temperature of everybody here can really change, because I'm sending my little 5-year-old to school for the first time. And I want her to be really, really loved and talked to in a really sweet manner. And I just didn't see that. And I guess I need to pay attention, because I have no idea what happened on Thursday. But I just hope, again, that we can focus on kids. That's like what everybody's here for. So, and those of you that work at Cavendish, I just hope that she's going to be really well taken care of. I know there's a great kindergarten teacher there, and I'm really looking forward to it. But some of this dialogue tonight was really concerning to me.
Thank you. Is there anyone else back in the Cavendish Town room before I take another online?
I'm Lisa Sanders. I'm parent to 2 Cavendish children.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your name.
Lisa Sanders.
Thank you.
I'm parent to 2 Cavendish children at the time. And I would first like to just agree with what was said by both of the last 2 people, which is this is not something that I would want my children to see or be a part of. And about the last meeting, that if my children decided to ignore what the will and the intention of other people was in order to dominate and really force a group of people into something that they didn't want and that didn't represent them, I would not accept that from my children, and I don't accept that from my school. The third thing I would like to say is we have a whole lot of ability, intelligence, creativity, problem solving, and using Robert's rules or anything else, which is actually intended to allow everyone to speak and for us to be able to hear each other in a real way, to use that to shut people down and not allow their opinions to be heard is unacceptable. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah?
there anyone else in the room?
No, I was looking for Sarah Stoll.
Oh. You're muted, Sarah.
She's trying to figure. Yeah, you're still muted. Are you saying go on?
Okay, I just figured that out. So I encourage everyone to have a look at the statement on the Vermont Principals Association website. Our state has had an unprecedented number of racist and sexist incidences reported by schools all over the state, including Green Mountain High School and players on our teams, to the VPA. And as a result, the VPA made a really strong statement that in theory is supposed to be read before every athletic game. The board might have a look at it and see whether or not keeping the mascot, which clearly you haven't gotten rid of. Otis, you wear it on your shirt every day. So please, we cannot say that just because you voted to get rid of the headdress, you actually have gotten rid of it. It's still around in the community. It's clearly associated. I think the VPA made a pretty clear statement about how we should be treating hate speech and hate incidences. And it's a shame that our school I'm devastated that our kids may be seen as not respecting those rules, as a school that potentially does want to harm other kids because of their race or because of their opinions. I think it's really sad. I think you should do there's tons of material that you can read about implicit bias. And so you can say you don't mean it to be racist, but it doesn't mean it's not. And I hope that this, I guess I almost hope the kids, I'm sorry for the kids, but if they can't play in games and they can't go to interstate band and all-state chorus and all of that because this school is in violation of the law, and what I think is our own diversity and equity statement that I believe the boards took on, that's a crying shame. And it makes it really hard to continue in an educational situation where our teachers are trying very hard to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. Inclusion means we created this space with you in mind, not just, well, we're a little discriminatory, but you're welcome to come in anyway. Thank you very much.
So our public comment is running way past our normal 10 minutes. I'm going to take one more, and then if there's other people, I will do another public comment after our executive session, but it's getting really late. So I'm just going to take the one more online, and then if anyone else would like to, after we come out of executive session, we'll continue, but it's getting kind of late. So, and I'm going to butcher your names, but the Brats, sorry.
Crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My comment, Deb, is
Can you pronounce your name for us? Because Amber's listening.
it's the Brats.
B-R-A.
B-R-O-C-K,
Yes.
spelled B-R-A-U-C-H-T.
I would just like to come back around to the statement that Lisa Sanders made, Deb, and be a little more direct. I was really disappointed with the way that you handled the board members today. The motions and your combative nature has not helped move us forward as a community with regard to school, regardless of what we're discussing here, the agenda change to discuss the resignations. And I just want it on public record that your combative nature is not helpful to the collaboration of this community.
I understand. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to move away from public comments now. Like I said, we can come back after we come out of executive session if there are still people that want to speak at that point. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to enter executive session. I think, Adrian, you have it in front of you, yes?
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me pull it back up.
Hello?
If she was here, she'd see you.
Hello?
And entering into
Yeah, but
executive.
it looks like, sorry, it looked like Steve was in front of the camera. I don't know if you saw him because you're on Zoom.
We're
Maybe you
moving,
did, I don't know.
we're moving on to the next agenda item.
Can I make a statement in the public statement?
No, we're out of public comment. We're moving back.
I'd
We're
like to make
moving.
before we go into executive session. I'd like to make a comment before we go into executive session.
Are you making another comment as a member of the public?
It could be a member of the public, whatever you decide.
Well, could you wait until, I've already said that I would take one more comment, which I did, and then I asked that other public comments wait until after our executive session, because we've already gone on past our 10 minutes.
This is relevant to the executive session. It really needs to be read before the executive session.
Okay.
I can't talk because I'm not on.
All right. I don't think we should make any decisions tonight. It would not be fair to the candidate, Amanda Tyrell, and who spoke very eloquently, and I really like you. She may very well be the best candidate that the Cavendish Town Elementary School needs. She may be the one that we need. She should have a chance to succeed. It's very important that she be given a chance to succeed. You know, given the tone of tonight's meeting, I want her to feel like she has the community behind her and that everyone understands what she's getting into. If the board chooses to hire the principal tonight, she will absolutely fail. She will not have the mandate of a representative group of Cavendish School board members. She will not have met the school community or engaged in a public forum. She will be resented by the teachers, perhaps more than any other principal, because their voices and participation has been dismissed. She will carry the resentment that will come with a unilateral decision by the board chair, whose bias toward Cavendish has been demonstrated in every meeting she has conducted.
A little point of order, Steve. At the very beginning of this meeting, I stated very clearly that we would not be hiring a principal tonight, that we are simply having an executive session to discuss how we move forward. And this was on the advice of the superintendent when I spoke with her this afternoon. We are not making any decisions. I want that clear. The reason that I continued to have the meeting tonight was because I wanted the board's input on how we should move forward. So now I would like to entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
You are breaking the law like the board has broken the law before.
Do I have a motion?
Yeah. Motion to enter into executive session to discuss the evaluation of personnel and next steps in the selection process of the principal of CTES.
Is there a second?
Come on.
Just vote it down.
Yes, second.
Table this. We don't
Motion
need
has
to do
been
this.
made by Adrian, seconded by Rick, that we enter into executive session Title I VSA 313 to have a discussion regarding the appointment and evaluation of personnel and next steps in the selection process for the CTES principal position. Is there any discussion?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Are you going to do this over Zoom? I mean,
Yes, Steve, what would you like to say?
This is public.
the public, there needs to be public comment on it. We can barely see you on Zoom. There's like 40 screens.
We are entering into executive session. The motion is about going into executive session.
It's a misuse of executive.
Don Cunningham's gonna have a field day with this.
Is there any other discussion?
Misuse of executive session.
All those in favor say aye.
It's illegal.
This is illegal.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
We'll do a roll call vote. Rick Alexander,
Yes.
Jeff Hance,
Yes.
Scott Kendall,
Yes.
Steve Pirani,
No.
Lois Perla,
No.
Josh Schroeder,
No.
Adrian Williams,
Yes.
Kate Lampier,
No.
Katie Murphy.
No.
That's 5-4. We will not be going into executive session, so I will be meeting with Lauren myself to discuss how we move forward with this process. I'm very sorry to the rest of the board. I wanted everyone's input.
Right.
Our next meeting is on 6 o'clock on June 15th at Green Mountain and on Zoom. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So made.
Motion's been made by Adrian, seconded by
Are there more public comments?
More public comments.
made by Adrian,
More
seconded
public comments.
adjourn.
Public comments.
Public comments.
Is there any other
Public
discussion?
comments. There's more public comments.
I make a motion to hear more public comments.
There's already a motion on the floor.
Oh, there is. Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Motion to adjourn.
It's not long.
Nothing.
So we will have to do a roll call on the motion to adjourn. Rick Alexander,
Yes.
Jeff Hans,
No, you did promise another public comment session.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great.
Scott Kendall,
I'm gonna say no.
Steve Peroni,
You did promise another public comment.
Lois
So-
Perla,
No.
Josh Schroeder,
I'm gonna go with a no.
Adrian,
What is it? Is yes for public comment and no is for no more?
yes is to adjourn, no is to continue.
Oh, no. Motion to adjourn, yes.
Kate Lampier,
No, no.
Katie,
No.
8-1. So it is 9 o'clock. I will open up public comments for another 10 minutes. You can have a couple minutes each, but I really think that all right, Otis Nelson, you're first.
No, come on.
That is the first hand that I saw. Otis Nelson.
I was just wondering, and I know I can't talk to the board directly or getting an answer back, I guess. But my question would be, if you have a vote for anything mandatory, if in-person voting would be mandated for the board.
I can answer you that it's not mandated to have in-person voting anymore. I don't see any more hands online. I will entertain someone from Cavendish Town Elementary School. Please state your name. I can't see, so you guys are gonna have to self-monitor yourselves.
Lisa Marks. I'm a parent at Cavendish Town Elementary School. I'm also a teacher at Ludlow Elementary School. I'm going to get really upset here. I just spent the most incredible day at Camp Keewaydin. I don't know if you're familiar with it, with 90 sixth graders. Incredible. I have no words. I got there at 7 o'clock this morning. I literally just walked through the door. I don't know what I've missed here. But in 15 minutes, my day's been ruined. I don't know what else to say. It's so discouraging and so disappointing as a teacher, as a parent of a student who's had incredible years in this building. I don't have words. I'm disgusted. I'm discouraged. And if you want to know how to suck the joy out of a teacher and a parent, whatever is going on, you've done it. You've done it. I don't know what else to say. Stop doing it. So just stop, please. And I'm not speaking, I'm really trying to keep it together, and I know I'm not speaking for myself here.
Thank you. Wayden is awesome. All 4 of my kids went and it is amazing. Deborah Velt.
Sorry, the O is missing. It's Deborah Velto.
Sorry, I can read what I can see.
I don't want to take up much time of the public comment section. I've been heard many, many times. My opinion is well documented in support of changing the chieftain. I just encourage everyone who's saying they're just joining the story and learning about this to go to the Senate proceedings online, and all the documentation is there that helped pass the law, which Chester students were involved in, and there are statements from Chester students in those documents. Thank you.
Is there anyone at Cavendish Town Elementary School?
Peggy Speck. I'm a community member living in Cavendish and taught many years here at the school. And I'm requesting that our board in writing apologize to Amanda Terrell. Yes.
Thank you. Online.
She has been through a kerfuffle, an embarrassing kerfuffle, and the board should be ashamed of itself.
Lois, I see your hand up.
Yes, I just want to say that I joined the board because I care about education and I care about children. And I agree with everybody who has said horrible things about us. We need to start working together and working for the things that we truly believe in and making education better for the children of these communities. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. I'll go back to Cavendish Town Elementary. I'm trying to go back and forth between the screens and the in-person.
Yes.
I think you know me. I'm Dennis Riley, citizen of Cavendish. And I think, Lois, I appreciate very much what you just said. I think the only way the board can move forward, if the board consider new leadership in the board.
Thank you. Tara's iPhone. Tara's iPhone. You have your hand up.
If
No.
you're speaking, Tara, you're on mute. No, it's Tara, not Sarah.
Tara, yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, sorry about that, internet problems. My name's Tara Lachlan. I have one child that graduated last year and one that's in middle school, 7th grade at Green Mountain. And it's very distressing to listen to this meeting. And I agree with the Brocks that, Deb, you do set the tone for this meeting. And it was just disheartening and distressing to listen to this meeting. And we need to do better and set a better tone and listen to people. And we need to do better for these kids and set a better example. And like Sarah said, this school has numerous problems with racism and sexism. This is one small step we can take to lead these kids in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Cavendish Town Elementary.
So I'd like to thank the
Can you
majority.
say who you are, please?
Abraham Gross.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the majority of the board that voted to stay out of an illegal executive session. It was a proper move and there were a lot of mistakes by the board this evening, but that was not one of them. One of the things that I would suggest as you're going forward is, again, I've said it before, some training in Robert's rules, maybe hire a parliamentarian to be on site, to provide the necessary guidance, because it's a thick book, it's challenging. Even I don't know all the ins and outs. That's why there are parliamentarians. The other thing is that public sessions are mandated by statute, which means the legislature gets to decide who is public. And what they say is public is anybody who shows up. And what you've seen at this meeting is people outside the TRSU, outside the school, whether they're parents, not, doesn't matter. They show up, they can speak. And the tendency of the chairwoman to control the speech, to limit the speech, to limit who can, to the policy that you had a first reading of at last meeting, nobody's talking about that, are all in violation of the statute. And that will get you sued. And that will cost everybody a lot of money that will not go towards educating children except on the intricacies of the legal system. And so I would really encourage the board to follow the law. And the law says public. The law says Robert's rules. So you have to follow Robert's rules, not some form of it that you think might work. It has to be done right.
Thank you. Deb O'Brien.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, Sarah Devereaux has had her hand up for most of this meeting, and I would love to hear from Sarah Devereaux.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's, again, not on my screen and no one told me. So go ahead, Deborah, wherever you are.
Oh, I haven't had my hand up.
Sorry.
But I can speak. I don't mind. Yeah, I recently attended Green Mountain, and I feel that there was not a lot of education around how disrespectful the mascot is. And I feel that there is a lot of racism, sexism, homophobia, and transphobia, and overall bigotry at Green Mountain. And it has definitely affected me and my peers. And so, yeah, something should be done about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone back at the Cavendish Town Elementary have their hand up?
Is there anybody else who wants to speak?
Well, I'm going to end it on one thing. My name is Martha Mott, and I want to say to the board, word got back to us in Cavendish that Cavendish doesn't show up. We want you to know that Cavendish shows up, and we always have. Yes.
And we appreciate that, and I hope that you will continue to show up. Amy.
Yeah, I just kind of want to take the elephant out of the room. I've been at every single board meeting this year, and there was a precise moment where things started to go really bad. And this is not personal, this is professional, and we all have to realize when a change is being made. And that precise moment was when there was a change in the board president. It has gone absolutely south since that moment, and we all have to be big enough to recognize it. And I don't see a way out and a way forward in collaboration until that elephant is taken out of the room. And that's all I want to say.
Thank you. Anyone back at Cavendish Town Elementary?
Anybody else?
Craig has his hand up.
I see Craig, he's online, but I've been trying to go back and forth between online and in person.
I can be really quick. Amanda Terrell again. I just want to thank people. I'm feeling, I know that you're all saying this is awful for me. I don't know if I should say that, but like, you know, as Steve is saying how I'm, you know, the teachers are going to, what were your words?
If you're imposed in executive session by a board, it's not the right way to come in.
Yes, I just like I have teachers texting me and they're like, we will never resent you. We love you. And I see the people here from Cavendish and I hear you and I am very grateful. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support.
Great.
Thank you. Craig?
Thank you, Deb. I just want to say I just live in Vermont. I don't live in the Two Rivers towns, but I work here. And just speaking as a citizen, I just am grateful that people are trying to listen to one another.
Thank you. Is there any, Robin?
Hi, this is actually Tracy Churchill. Robin and I are both at Keewaydin this week, and we made the really hard decision this evening to take an hour and 13 minutes out of our evening with the kids. Robin just stepped away because she's tucking kids in and trying to make sure everybody has what they need for the night. And I'm hoping to get to them soon too. But we felt, given that what the agenda was, we really wanted to be here. However, I'm just going to restate what Lisa said about taking our joy away. We have so many things at Cavendish that we are proud of, that we have a history of, and we are excited about the future of Cavendish. And spending all of this time on topics that are, well, one of which the mascot's completely illegal, is frustrating when we would like to be sharing some of the happy things and joyous things that make us proud of our school.
We would very much love it if you could come to our next meeting on June 15th and be our speaker. We're going to start doing different schools and highlights, and you could come and give us an update on Keewaydin this year if you would be willing to do that.
I'll talk to Robin. She's had stepped away, but I'll extend that invitation to her too.
Because we hadn't really decided what school was going to be first. So I think that, you know, that would be a great way to start off our highlighting each school. So I will be in touch with Robin. Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken or that would like to speak? I can't see any. Well, I've got hands online, but there are people that spoke, so I'm not sure if they just didn't take their hands down.
Deb, I'm not sure if this is the right time for me to bring it up. It's not really public comment. I have some concern that we're not going to talk about the next step for the principal search until June 15th. Is that the intent, that we're not going to try to schedule another meeting?
You and I can have a discussion tomorrow on what you think is the best way forward, since you were the one I think that's probably the best way, and then we can either try to get a special meeting with the board if that's what you think you should advise us to do. I had hoped to get different comments tonight, but I guess we'll have to have a meeting and reset and go from there. And I will take whatever guidance you want to offer.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else?
Yeah, hi, this is Julia Janu. I'm curious if you're going to allow the Cavendish community to have their forum.
Of course.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think things got really mixed up today. When Lauren called and told me that we only had the one candidate and she didn't feel comfortable moving forward to a public forum with just one candidate and wanted us to kind of take a step back and relook at the process. But no, we would never hire or even entertain a principal without having an open forum with the residents. That's usually the procedure, and this would be no different.
Let's do it then.
So is that up to the board? Will the board make that decision, or will you go by the superintendent's suggestion?
We've always gone by the superintendent's recommendation.
We'll have an open forum.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
And
I wouldn't see any reason why we wouldn't. Like, that's just it's not what we do.
And just to be clear, Deb and I had a conversation about what it was that we should do, given that we were planning on having two candidates come forward. We then made arrangements to have a second candidate when the one had dropped out. When halfway through the morning, that person dropped out, our conversation was that moving forwards with a single candidate was not what we intended to do. And I know that's disruptive, but we want to make sure that we are putting forwards in front of the town, if possible, two viable candidates. I understand not everybody agrees with that. However, that was a decision that Deb and I together talked about and decided that we were going to do.
So I have a question. My kid has been in this school since kindergarten. He's in 4th grade. We've been through 3 principals so far. And now we're losing that principal and we have one candidate. Shouldn't we at least explore that one candidate rather than just say, oh, we'll wait? Because waiting's not, what is going on is not working. So if somebody actually wants to come to this school and stay at this school and be a principal here, shouldn't we give them a chance to at least talk to us, especially when there's almost 100 people here to talk to that candidate tonight? Why would we put that off longer? I have to say too, I'm on a timeline. If it takes long, I drop out. I have to. And then we're left with.
Can I interrupt for a second? The speaker right before Amanda, I don't know her name.
Say that again.
My name's Corey. Robert.
Say again?
Corey Roberts.
Thank you.
Go ahead. I think you were fielding a question, Lauren.
The question, it's not really a question for me. The question is why we wouldn't talk to Amanda tonight.
Well, it kind of is a question for you.
If you're making it, if you're giving me the authority to make that decision, I didn't think you wanted me to make that decision.
That's the board.
It doesn't have to be in contact with the board.
A decision about it has to be
Yes, but then
in the
following-
context of a board
Following
meeting.
adjournment, do.
Lauren, the PTG would be happy to host an evening to bring the single candidate forward for a community forum. Separate away from this whole board situation.
However, I think that we have to make that the board and I have to make a decision whether we want to bring a single candidate forwards or whether we want to consider bringing two candidates forward. We in fact had other candidates who applied. It's the timing of it. We could have brought a second candidate forward if we had known these people were going to drop out more than one day ahead of time. I want us to be able to talk to, and I want everybody to hear from Amanda. I think it is a good idea to have more than one candidate if that's possible, and I believe that it's possible.
Amanda, what's your timeline?
She doesn't have to answer that.
So
She knows. She said she had a deadline.
if I have to answer honest, and I'm always honest to a fault. I'm sorry, sometimes that's not great. But we are looking into where my son will go to high school, and I feel like that would be a bad thing as a mother to string my son along longer than this. We thought we'd have an answer by tonight. I also feel like this is unfair to my school, Chester Andover, who is waiting on bated breath to find out what's happening to me. Right, and it's also a disservice to Cavendish Town Elementary School, and I totally understand how it would not be fair because we don't have Cavendish representatives on the board right now who could vote in a fair manner. So I understand that and I appreciate that, but at the same time, there is a lot of factors at play here, and I don't want to hurt my son, hurt my school, and at a certain point, I have to drop out, and then you have no candidates.
Right.
And whatever candidates you get, everyone's already signed their contract. You're probably not going to get much that's quality. That's my opinion. I don't know if it matters or if other people agree with me, but that I'm being honest.
Thank you very much.
I would also just echo what Amanda just said. When we were making the decision not to move forwards with it, we had a single Cavendish representative on the board. And that's not the case now.
Exactly.
I'm willing to do whatever. If you want me to talk tonight, I can. If you like, I'm flexible.
I would say if you're willing to let me keep talking here, was that I don't think that to do that at this time after all of this is a good idea. I would like to be able to try to organize something to happen at the beginning of next week. If that's too late for you with your timeline, then it's too late. But I would hope that if we could put something together, if I can talk with the board members about when they're available, so that we could have you speak in an open forum that we could do within, certainly within the first couple of days of next week.
That's fair.
And then the board would.
You have to find out whether a quorum of the board can be present. Ideally, we would do what we had planned on doing tonight. You have an open forum and the board listens, and then afterwards, the board goes into an appropriate executive session and does an additional interview if they wish to, and then makes a decision.
I mean, I guess if the board is available to meet by the end of the week and make a decision, then I'm fine. I don't want to put my school through any more waiting.
Do you think we can work that out, Deb, when we talk?
To make a decision by the end of this week?
Next week.
Yeah.
By next week, end of next week.
Yes.
I mean, I can certainly make time. I can't speak for all the other board members and their schedules, but I certainly, we can try, that's what we were all going to talk about tonight. We're still in public comment. So I saw Scott McDonald's hand and then I saw Kate's.
Hi, this is Scott. Thank you for seeing that. Strictly procedural, because I've been here for quite a while. This has nothing to do with my personal feelings, but you guys are all making the appearance that you're doing your best to follow procedure. If I'm not mistaken, which is possible, the vote to make the resignation of, I believe it was 2 board members official, was done before Katie had a chance to vote. And that didn't sit right with me from a procedural perspective. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kate Lampier, did you have your hand back up?
I took it down. I was just going to reiterate what Lauren said about trying to meet as soon as possible, and I can be available.
Okay. Is there anyone else that has not spoken that would like to speak? Board members, I guess I will meet with Lauren tomorrow. We'll send out a doodle poll on a few dates to get together again to try to have the open forum and executive session so that we can interview principal candidates. Is there anyone else on the board that would like to say anything at this point? Okay, then we'll be in touch as far as this goes, and our next regular meeting will be at 6 on June 15th at GMUHS and on Zoom. And just one thing before we do adjourn, I'd just like to say that none of us got into this for any other reason than to try to make education for all of our kiddos the best that it can be.
Yeah, exactly.
And all of this other stuff is just a distraction. I'm doing the best that I can. I would challenge anyone to sit in my chair tonight and try when 80 people are all talking at once to try to make sense of it. And I did do the best that I can, and I continue to do the best that I can, and that's all that I can do. And I will continue to try to do that. So I am here for the kids. And as I said last week, I really hope that all of this energy around other stuff can be put into making our education that much better, because that's really what we're all here for. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Sure.
Scott has made the motion to adjourn, seconded by Adrian. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you much.